Thanks a lot, asshole!
Well, hello there, everybody. This is Mike for terribleinfantfilm, back once again to do another Phantasm review. This time we're going to be reviewing Phantasm 5, Ravager. The final game now begins. So before I get into that, I just want to let you know that if you enjoy this content, if you enjoy this series, if you want to see more like it, leave me a comment, follow us, subscribe to us, like us. It really helps us. It really helps us know what kind of content you like, what kind of content we should produce. And yeah, it's always nice to hear from our fans and from people who watched this and found it interesting. Be really fun to hear from you. So yeah, if you're feeling generous, you can also find us on Patreon, and anything you can donate or subscribe to us would really help. But of course, you never have to do that. So if you want to just watch the content, like it, maybe share with some friends, be great too. So let's jump into Phantasm 5, Ravager. This film came out in 2016, so almost 20 years after the fourth one. And whew, this might offend some Phantasm people, but I wish they never released this film. So once again, Reggie Bannister is back as Reggie. A. Michael Baldwin is back as Mike. Angus Scrimm is back as the Tall Man. And actually, Kathy Lester, who was in the first one and the third one, is back. So that's kind of cool, because she's not really in a lot of other films. Okay, so having said that, let's get into Phantasm 5 Ravager. So we start with Reggie coming back through the portal, and it's been a long time, right? We don't know how long, but it's been a long time. For the first 20 minutes or so, 20, 30 minutes or so, he's wandering around the desert. He sees someone driving his car, and he kind of gets him to stop. And this little goofy dude is driving, and he's like, "I'll give you a ride for $50 or $100, whatever it was." Reggie pays him, and then he's like, "It's my car," and he throws him out. He takes his clothes, he has a gun, and whatever. He drives off, and then the spheres come out. They go through that guy, and then there's a fight on the road where Reggie destroys those 3 spheres. Not bad, fine, whatever, decent. Not scary, but whatever. The rest of the film is just really confusing. You keep getting these flashes where Reggie is like in a nursing home, and Mike, a grown-up version of Mike, not in trouble, is talking to him and saying that he has dementia and all this stuff. And so we don't know what to believe. And then we jump back to Reggie in the actual world. He's driving around. He meets this girl, this lady, who's on the side of the road. Again, it's been 20 years. They couldn't think of another way to introduce a character. He gives her right to her farmhouse, and she lives in the middle of nowhere on a farm with like 1 worker. It's like, come on, dude. He tries to get with her, of course, fails. He falls asleep. She comes down like she's about to get with him, but he's already asleep, so it doesn't happen. And then, of course, in the morning, she's killed by the Tall Man and the spheres. And then Reggie's running around, that guy in the bar, and he gets killed. It's just like, why introduce these characters at all? It just doesn't make any sense. And then the rest of the film, he's wandering around doing weird stuff. There's all these weird flashes. We don't know what's true. He meets the Tall Man in like another dimension. The Tall Man's like, "I'll give you your family back if you stop hunting me, and Mike is mine." And he's like, "No, I need Mike and Jody." And we keep going here, and then like he's in this hospital or somewhere, and he's rescued by these random people. Mike is the leader of them. It's like a armed rebellion against the Tall Man, who apparently took over the world, and it's like a post-apocalyptic world. And then they go into this other world, and this little short guy, little person, he attacks the Tall Man and blows himself up, but he's not dead for some reason. If you haven't really caught on, I did not enjoy this film at all. This was one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen a lot of crap and a lot of trash. This was horrible. This was by far the cheapest looking film of the series. and it came out the most recently, so that doesn't make sense. The special effects are atrocious. They're worse than the other 4 films, which again is mind-boggling. The story makes no sense at all. The characters make no sense at all. They've never been smart characters, but they're completely idiotic in this film. There's no sense to the plot or what they wanted to do. It's also mean to say, but Reggie Bannister and Angus Scrimm at this point are both, Reggie Bannister's in his 70s, Angus Scrimm is in his 80s, and was really sick at that time. And it's like, it's hard to be an imposing villain when you're so frail and you can barely stand. But man, this film was bad. Like I said, one of the worst films I've ever made. And it sucks because, I enjoyed the Phantasm series as a whole, and I liked the characters, and I wanted to see how it's concluded. But my God, it was garbage. Dude, I was watching this, and I was on my phone trying to find any other diversion because it was so boring and so nonsensical and so cheap looking. And the sound was bad. The technical aspects of the film were bad. I read people were talking about that it was similar to a student film. No, I went to film school, and I've worked on student sets, and they were all better quality than that. I don't know what happened here. They had 20 years to come up with something, and I get there's no money, but man, in 2015, 2014, 2013, whenever it was filmed, you could buy a decent 4K camera for $5,000 to $10,000, and it would look better than what they shot. If you have no money, you can shoot on location outside. You can work around that. You can find ways to make it look good. I don't know what happened with this film. I don't know the backstory of whether people didn't care or whether they thought they were making good film and they were just hampered by technical issues, whether they thought the script was smart. I don't know, but it was just awful. So if I'm rating Phantasm 5 Ravager, I will never give a film a 0 out of 5, just if it was made. That took some work, but I can't give this film more than a 0.5 out of 5. This is one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. It had absolutely no redeeming qualities to it. I will never watch it again. I will never even think about it again. The ending that it set up for the series was just complete lame. It was lame. I read reviews, people defending the film, and it's like, I can appreciate the work that these people have done in the series. I can appreciate the hard work it takes to make a film because I've done that before and I know how hard it is. But it doesn't mean I can't criticize the film. I'm not saying these people aren't talented. I'm saying this film sucked, plain and simple. And there you have it. Phantasm 5 Ravager, what a crappy way to go out. So I've reviewed and talked about all 5 Phantasm films. You can watch all the videos on our YouTube channel. And now, for the fun part, I will be ranking them. Sorry, not rating them. I have been rating them. I will be ranking them from 5 to 1. Having watched this review, you can probably guess what my least favorite of the series is. But where do the other 4 fall? Okay? So stay tuned. Come back shortly. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our Patreon, our Instagram channels. Please follow us. Please subscribe to us. Please comment and let us know how we're doing. Let us know the kind of content you want to see. And I'm sure we can do more of that. And like I said, I will be back shortly with the rating of the series, and I hope you come back and watch that. Until next time, this is Mike for Terrible Infant.